What's up, guys? Another video from the car. East versus West 9 main event. Devon Larratt versus Hermes Gasparini. East versus West super heavyweight world title match. So you already have Devon as the heavyweight world champion. Hermes is the super heavyweight world champion after his very impressive win over Jerry Caderet. What are my thoughts? I've talked about this a couple times. I just think Hermes is the overwhelming favorite. But you cannot count out Devon Larratt. I mean, the guy is capable of accomplishing the unaccomplishable. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I guess he's 48 years old. He's got a shot at being, potentially, with LeVon being out with an injury, the number one guy on the planet. So it's very hard to bet against Devon. I think Hermes' hand, I think his explosiveness, I think his ability to counter quickly may take Devon out of position early and get him out of there really fast. If Devon puts the brakes on him, now I said this in Gennady, and he ended up gassing out in Gennady in the 5th round. But, and I honestly want to say that in the past, I'd say if Devon stopped it, oh, he's screwed because Hermes doesn't arm wrestle well from the defensive position. Well, that was prior to us watching him arm wrestle LeVon. The dude went to the brink of snapping his shit to try to win that match. And if I was betting, I'd put my money on Hermes. But I will be watching for sure, because you saw Devon shaved his head. That means he's serious. I don't know, man. He's a dangerous guy. I just don't know if he can handle the speed, the power, the hand. See, Hermes sometimes has problems with a longer lever. We saw him when he pulled with Alex Gardetchin. But also the longer lever has to come down to the shorter posting style top row, which is Hermes Gasparini. If Devon tries to King's move open top row, Hermes knows how to counter that. I think Devon's best chance of winning is to find a way to fatigue him in the setup, and he's a master of that. Hermes says he's not worried about that. He's not going to let it happen. If Devon can play Devon's game, I believe he can fit. Because I think Hermes is only as good as Hermes is when he has hand. If his hand goes, although he has a very, very strong arm, it takes away at least 50% of what he's capable of doing. Money's still on Hermes, but I used to think it was like an overwhelming 70-30, 75-25. I'm now of the opinion that it's 55-45 Hermes. It's weird how you start shifting your predictions. I honestly think it's 3-0 smack Hermes. But if that first round is at all close, or a grinder, or Devon gets a stop and gets the confidence that comes along with the stop, it's Devon's to lose. 55-45. Co-main event, REVAZ and VITALY. REVAZ is a large human being, but he's going against a 6'8", 6'9", long lever top row specialist. I assume REVAZ is used to have the longer lever against his opponents. That won't be the case. But I, for some reason, think REVAZ's hand and wrist are going to be strong enough to negate the leverage of VITALY. And I think he's versatile enough, if he can't overpower him immediately, to take the match in the deep waters and beat him. I'm a big fan of VITALY. Would like to arm wrestle at some point someday. Would like to get a rematch against REVAZ as well. But in this particular matchup, I'm of 70-30 REVAZ over VITALY. And I'll tell you why. We saw VITALY lose in the AMC. We saw him come back and win the AMC after Zara had his bicep injury. He can get stretched out. He does run out of arm. His long lever, his hand is amazing when he hits his lane. We saw him pull LeVon a few years back, spectacular performance. And I've heard that he's as strong or stronger than he was when he pulled LeVon, which makes him a very dangerous man. REVAZ impressed me the most the first time I saw him when he had that amazing match at WAF Worlds versus LeVon. and I saw it might have been WF Worlds, it might have been Europeans, but it's one of the two. And he gave Levon all he could possibly handle. Right, had his wrist going back, had him compromised, and I think this version of REVAZ is much stronger. So I think REVAZ's strength, his versatility, and that Georgian just die hard, leave it all on until I die heart that he has makes him the favorite. So my predictions so far are ERMES and REVAZ. All right, guys, the rest of these are going to go a little bit faster. Todd Hutchins versus IBRAGIM is how, I don't know how to say his name exactly, but I've seen the name numerous times because there's been a lot of those guys that were amazing. The one thing I know about this dude, if he's the guy I'm thinking of, has a ridiculous shoulder press, whether it's an explosive shoulder press off the go or he sets into it. If it's an explosive shoulder press on the go, I think that is Todd Hutchins' only hole in his game. If that's the case, I could see this guy getting some quick wins on Todd. If Todd puts the brakes on it at all and makes a dogfight, Todd Hutchins is definitely, without a doubt, gonna win. The guy is amazing. He's like 500 years old and he's still strong. Okay, I think he's only like 7, 8 years older than me. But the fact is, he keeps getting stronger. His resilience, his tenacity, his ability to win the compromised position match. Like, he's okay. The thing about that John Brzezinski Todd Hutchins match, people were like, oh my God, Todd's leveled up so much. Honestly, I don't know if he had. That's exactly how that match might have went 3 or 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 6 years ago. We don't know for sure. It's just a stylistically bad matchup for John Brzezinski, in my opinion. John is a hand-controlling dominant. He's extremely versatile. He needs that cup. He needs... Todd doesn't care, and he just went sideways. So the resilience of Todd Hutchins, the joint integrity of Todd Hutchins, the back pressure and side pressure of Todd Hutchins makes me think of the match stops at all Todd Hutchins. So I'm going to say 60-40 Todd. But if the dude's shoulder press is ridiculous, it could be a completely opposite of my prediction. But right now, we got ERMES, REVAZ, Todd Hutchins. EVGENY, PRUDNYK, and DADIKYAN left-handed. Now, DADIKYAN gave Morozov all he could possibly handle at King of the Table. But I'm telling you what, PRUDNYK is a bad dude. So I think DADIKYAN's probably the favorite, but I'm going PRUDNYK. I'm going 55-45 EVGENY PRUDNYK just because he's funny. And his promo clips leading up to this have been pretty hysterical. DADIKYAN, got a great respect for him. Watching him pull Denison Plinkoff has been ridiculous. So who knows? I may be completely off on this, but I'm going to go with PRUDNYK. Paul Lynn, the dude is a freak. Taking on the other BABEYEV. Man. RUSLAN BABEYEV. The kid is strong. I haven't seen him in probably a decade. But back when Rustam was killing it, RUSLAN was killing it. And RUSLAN was a little bit heavier. He was taller, lankier. But he's powerful, just unassuming, ridiculously strong. I don't think he's levels above Paul. And unless you are in power, I don't think you get past Paul's hand. I think you have to beat him inside. And I just don't think RUSLAN's going to be able to pull it off. I'm saying 3-1 Paul Lynn. David Samashua versus VALA. I don't know the VALA guy. Or if I do, I just can't picture him right now. And David is the reigning world champ. He's beaten everyone you put in his way, except when he stepped up to heavy class and pulled Paul in. I got to go with the champ, right? And I may be completely wrong because I'm not educated on his opponent, but David Samashua is my pick. IRAKLI versus DADIKYAN right-handed. Now this is interesting. It depends on if DADIKYAN pulls PRUDNYK left first, or if he's pulling IRAKLI first with the right arm. I do think whoever gets him second gets the weaker version of the guy. I've seen it happen too many times already. When guys try to pull double duty at East versus West, it comes back to bite the ass sometimes. IRAKLI is a very impressive young man. Another person I'd be cool to arm wrestle at some point. I think IRAKLI. DADIKYAN might be the stronger person, but I don't know if his supination is going to match the pronation riser and back pressure of IRAKLI. So I'm going to have to go with IRAKLI 3-1. FERIT and GEORGI. So in this match, FERIT's going to be 300 pounds. GEORGI's probably 275. GEORGI was ridiculously impressive left-handed, beating Wagner Borlato. And we just saw Wagner Borlato left-handed beat FERIT. And I think FERIT's left may be stronger than his right. So do we know if GEORGI's left is stronger than his right? that really has no bearing on this match because it is a right-handed match. I don't know enough. I know FERIT is a legendary puller, right? GEORGI's strong, been around forever. But I've got to go 3-0 FERIT. Ivan MATYUSHENKO and ARABULI. How do you say his last name again?
ARABULI, I think.
I may have messed it up. I like that guy though. He's Georgian. He's one that invited us over to come train. Super good guy. I like him a lot. I'm a fan of Ivan MATYUSHENKO. That dude is amazing. I personally think Ivan MATYUSHENKO is going to force the hook, and before DAVIT wins 3 rounds, MATYUSHENKO turns the corner and wins it 3-2. I think 3-2 Ivan MATYUSHENKO or better. It just depends on when he secures that hook and bleeds him out, because his hooking ability is insane, and once he's in there, he's very hard to beat. You're gonna have to pull right through him, and I don't know if DAVIT's got enough strength to do that. He may do it once or twice, but I don't think he can do it every round. WAWRYZNSKI versus ARTUR. So I think ARTUR was pulling, well, I know he was pulling lighter, maybe 165, 176 at one point, pulling with Ingen when Ingen was still cutting and making weight. His hands are enormous. He's got those big, you know, Oleg style hands or MEHDI style hands and forearms. WAWRYZNSKI is a stud. Now, if you're only going by his last performance against Bacho, you may not be thinking the same. But Bacho may be from another planet. You know what I'm saying? That kid was ridiculous. WAWRYZNSKI is going to have to be able to stop the top rolling of ARTUR. Is it possible? I don't know. Does he supinate him in a hook? I think it's going to be difficult. I think he's going to have to match him with back pressure, get to slip, connect to him, get tied to him in the straps, and then just put his arm on him and go sideways with a lot of back pressure and maybe transition shoulder behind it. I think it's 3-2 either way. I don't think anybody sweeps anybody. I think it eventually becomes a dogfight. I don't know who to pick. Obviously, you want to pick WAWRYZNSKI because he's from the States, but ARTUR is a bad dude. So I still don't know who to pick, so I'm just going 3-2. He's going to be a war. Derek Smith and MEHDI. I like MEHDI. That dude's a huge, huge individual. And he's just crazy strong human. Derek Smith has not had a good day in a while. I think he's due. And this is why. Derek is used to pulling top-level elite caliber arm wrestlers. MEHDI just doesn't get to have that type of experience as much from what I see. If he is, he's not posting anything on social. I think Derek Smith's long lever. I think Derek might get smacked once or twice, but I think he finds a way to win it 3-2. I'm going 3-2 Derek Smith. Brad Grundy and Kyle Hutchinson. I'm going to tell you what, Kyle Hutchinson looks like a stud. That dude is jacked. You know what I'm saying? He is a big looking dude, big old triceps, looks solid as shit. And Brad Grundy is exceptional until I saw his match with the guy from Korea. So either the guy from Korea is like superhuman strong, because I had no idea that guy was going to beat Brad like that. Because the exception of that loss, Brad's been whooping a lot of people's asses lately. So I think Brad's cupping, top rolling ability is spectacular. I think Kyle's more drag hooking, maybe a cupping style top roller. If the strength is anywhere close, Brad Grundy wins this thing in my opinion. If there is a gap in strength, because I think Brad's a more technical of the two. If there's a gap in strength, I could see Kyle Hutchins slipping, going the strap, and dragging open his bicep. So, if the strength is even, 3-1 Brad Grundy. If there's a gap in strength, 3-0 Kyle Hutchins. I don't know. Dustin HYATT, Monster Factory lightweight champ. This kid is impressive. Like, he's doing things that a lot of people didn't think was possible. Beating Roman, winning the East versus West qualifier. Just, he's on a tear. The kid's amazing. He loves it. He trains hard. He's dedicated. Thomas Magny's been around for a long time. That dude, he's impressive. I watched the video earlier and it looked like he was just letting everybody force him in a hook and then he was just rolling out of it. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. The supinating, hooking power, shoulder press power, heart of young lion Dustin HYATT versus the experience and top rolling ability of Thomas. I think Thomas gets him 1, maybe 2. Dustin finds a way to pull out the 3-1 and 3-2 win. That's it, guys. East versus West 9. Go to Core Sports. Order your event. It's this Saturday. I won't be at this one, but I'll be at the next one. Take care, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell for notifications.